AERO testing part 2.
You just keep that bit in.
What are we doing? Bike.
Yes.
Chris Boardman.
Yes.
Boardman. I think we're inside Chris Boardman. Is that what?
What have I signed up to?
I'm not sure.
I paid good money to see that.
What? Whoa. You sure this is the right place?
Yeah. So this is the first hour record bike. Obviously, please do not touch. This is the 1996 Ultimate Hour record, which no one's beaten yet. Even Wiggins didn't get close. 56k he did, so probably one of the more aero setups you'll ever get. Super narrow aero cranks.
That's it.
Yeah, it's good.
So good.
So you can walk down here and get shots
No way.
from down here and stuff. So the way it works is the rider faces this direction.
Yeah.
And the air gets sucked past the rider. So some people might think that
You're not just a big fan in your face.
No,
at
no.
all.
If you did have a big fan of your face, the airflow would be very choppy, so it wouldn't be nice and straight airflow, which is what you need for good data. So instead what you do is you have the fan behind the rider there, and it sucks air through these kind of air straighteners, which is like a mesh, tiny little hexagonal tubes, which straighten the airflow. And it then gets speeded up as it goes through this area here and then hits the rider, so the rider will be facing
like here.
It's even better, I'll show you the whole thing. So if you come through the...
So this is proper, isn't it? This is really, really cool. I wasn't expecting it to be so massive here.
It looks quite enclosed, but when you actually see it... There you go.
Oh, whoa! Look at that!
You okay? Stairs hurt you?
Stairsy hurt.
Where's it hurt? So this is that hexagonal mesh I was talking about? Yeah. So this basically, all of this area has to be kept completely empty. Because if you have like big objects here, it'll disturb the airflow. You need to make sure that the air going into the tunnel is as uniform as possible. They can't be storing bikes here and bike boxes and stuff like that.
They can store car roof boxes.
There's a car roof box around there, which is okay. Half of all of this is designed very specially. It takes ages to do it, and they've done a real good job. Starts big, so this is the inlet. Starts big and then gets smaller to give uniform and fast airflow down the middle. Come around here.
This is bonk. I never realised it. And there was me thinking this was just going to be a fan.
So if you drop a bolt or anything, because the fans are going so quick and sucking the air past you at anywhere up to 50 miles an hour, if you drop a bolt or something, it'll get sucked past you through the fan and then get spat out in the wall there. The worst we've had so far is a small piece of tissue paper, so we were doing all right. But if you do end up losing a bolt on the bike, it'll appear in the flying debris area underneath the fan. You should probably be able to...
There's a daft question,
yeah.
But is the fan sucking air or blowing air?
The air's going this way, so the
Right.
fan, the propeller is kind of pushing air that way and sucking it past the rider.
Sucking it over the top of the rider.
That's right. You can feel it. It's quite greasy. That's only 30 kilometers an hour.
Headwind sausage.
That bit's windy.
Yeah.
That was windy.
I'll go in a nice warm room.
What's it done to my hair?
So yeah, welcome to part 2 of the AERO Gains video series. In this part we are in the wind tunnel and we're going to be tinkering further with George's and Chris's position. We also have a special guest joining us, but he's late.
King of the booms. The wattage cottage himself. Fun the Fires Malone.
Yeah, I'm good, mate. How you doing? Hello.
We've basically taken the saddle slightly further forward, probably going to end up going down a bit lower in the front.
Ah, exciting.
This is the ear I can't hear out.
Yeah, don't press the
Why are you
button on
putting
the
it in there
outside.
then?
You might use the other ear then. You've got
You know
one
you're
deaf
really
ear. Don't
can
put an
be,
earpiece.
No, I can't. Let me check it.
I can't hear what you're saying, mate. Can't
Can
hear.
you hear this?
Who?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Like, not in the room, I mean sure that you're going to be looking in the right sort of place that you would do if you're riding outside.
Yeah.
So we don't want you to be looking directly at the floor.
Yeah.
Instead, you can see the crosses. Okay, Chris, keep pedaling. What I want you to do is just lower your head slightly. So chin to, there we go, yeah.
So you just drilled some holes in his bike?
In a small section of his bike, yeah. So we just tried to get Chris's elbows a bit narrower, which requires drilling holes in the armrests just to adjust them in. Next thing we're going to try and do is First of all, I mean, I really like how the helmet's sitting on his back now. I think it's sitting really nicely. So I'm going to get some data off this, see how it goes.
Oh, that gap's drastically reduced, isn't
You
it?
can
Is that
see
just from pushing the helmet back? Or?
A little bit, yeah. Oh wow, and the drag is much lower than it was before. So lowering his head saves a little bit, but what we want to try and do, as I keep banging on about, is getting his head lower more naturally, so he doesn't have to constantly think about.
At the moment here, is he in that position where have you asked him to pull it forwards?
No, I went and positioned it on his head.
Yeah, okay.
So
he needs to remember to do that.
Yeah,
at the start
that's
of the race, I
just
suppose.
important,
There's an alarm going off.
that's it, Chris. Just keep paddling.
They've turned the microwave on.
Fat Lawrence the race.
We've got Fat Lawrence.
What are you talking about?
Talk about Lawrence's dietary habits from the run up to time lapse.
Yeah, in
Probably
my,
better than
in
mine.
That, like psycho.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my all-year dietary habits.
Are you allowed to eat biscuits though?
Well, I don't really like biscuits. So is skin suit material, say on the arms of his skin suit, faster than shaved skin?
It depends on the speed. So normal time trial speed, so let's say from 40 to 50 kilometers an hour, that kind of material is better than shaved bare skin, not like hairy arms or anything. But as you get faster, the properties of the airflow change. So if you're riding at like team pursuit speed or sprinter speed on the track, different things happen, and in that situation sometimes a rougher surface or more skin-like texture can be quicker. So it depends on the speed, but for Chris, definitely we don't want him riding naked. That would be slower as well as a bit weird. I got a present for Chris.
It's a tiny, oh, we love that.
Small female.
Oh, it's like shiny.
Yeah. The arms are tiny.
I mean, we may have some butt crack.
Maybe you shouldn't have worn a base layer underneath.
Yeah, just adding to the. There we are.
Actually makes him look a lot thinner.
Tight as a duck's arse, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which is more important, how the suit fits or which suit it is?
So we did a test on a guy the other week, and he had a really expensive skin suit. He tested it against like an 80 quid one, and the super expensive one didn't fit him properly. It had some bags like around the hip area and around the arm. Slower, too much slower.
I think we keep coming back to the same thing, which is it's specific to the rider.
Yeah.
Same with helmet.
Yeah,
same
absolutely.
with shoes. You know.
Yeah.
Including the position.
But it's baggy bits and wrinkles in the suit, not the rider, that is what's slowing them down.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. On which part though is it more critical? Is it like front? Is it shoulders? Or is it like?
It's down the forearms, up the shoulder, sometimes behind the back of the arm as well.
And around the hips as
And
well.
also around the hips,
and
yeah.
everything.
So those are the areas that you kind of want to avoid having crinkles and stuff. If the suit doesn't fit like so well on maybe the back of the leg, it's less of an issue. But generally, like suits fit okay in that area for most cyclists. So
You know what I want to know?
What?
Who's got faster bike, you or Chris?
Yeah.
I know we kind of already know the answer to that. Probably
curious,
Chris's
I
because
don't
it was
want to be
£17,000 more expensive.
I am curious, although I don't think I'm going to like the answer.
Those trolls on
Yeah.
Facebook
That's precisely-
there's no such thing as a fast bike, just a fast rider.
Yeah.
Well, this is kind
Proof.
of proving that no. Some bikes are faster than others.
basically, the fastest bikes that we see consistently under riders, P5s, Velo P5s, and Trek Speed Concepts. If someone comes to a session with one of those, we can always get a good CDA out of them. So it's going to depend a little bit because the bike interacts with the rider quite a lot.
Yeah.
The P5 in particular, the back end of it is designed to take the airflow off the rider's back and kind of suck it. So if you put the bike only on a P5, it doesn't look amazing, but you stick a rider on it and the back end is designed to create like a little vortex to suck the air off the rider's back. It's really clever. The way they designed the two bikes in the tunnel, the Speed Concept was designed with a mannequin in a triathlon position that was quite far forwards. So if you're on a Speed Concept and you come to us, we move you forwards on the bike because 9 times out of 10 that's more aerodynamic. On a P5, they used a UCI position mannequin where they're sat quite far back. So if you come to us on the P5, generally speaking, you move back, it's more aero. So it's such a minefield.
Yeah.
It's a real
Bike
bike.
tunes to the position.
Well, the bike is tuned to the way that it was designed. So you know, if you want to design a bike for someone, you have to make you design a bike for them and their particular position.
Nice.
So it is quite cool. So what was the difference between the two? Wow, nothing in it. Nothing in it.
That's a joke. You said joking with me now.
That is absolutely crazy.
Rubbish. I'm getting rid of this then. I'm just going to get one of them off eBay.
You spent so much money on that.
I've spent so much on this. I sold a car for this.
Well, shit. So you've just asked him to shrug his shoulders.
That's right, yeah.
Does that make a big difference?
What it'll do for George in particular is narrow off his frontal area. Right? So he's got quite broad shoulders, so it's something that we want to see if we can pull them in just to basically to make him a narrower shape. For some riders, pulling his shoulders in actually pops your head up, which can be worse for aerodynamic drag and can increase your frontal area. So what we want to do is see whether that's happened with George. It looks a little bit like his head's higher, so we'll have to see what the numbers look like. They don't look amazing at the moment, so we may find that shrugging his shoulders doesn't work for him.
So if people can't come in for a session with you guys, for whatever reason, what would you recommend they do at home to be able to do it? Is it to get someone to take photos of you?
Yeah, I mean, making sure that you get an AERO helmet that looks like it sits on your back nicely is a good, easy win. Borrow some helmets off a friend because buying loads of different AERO helmets is quite tricky. Like, you come to a session with us, we have loads available, but that's quite a big investment.
They're expensive, yeah.
Yeah, so borrow some off teammates and get one that you're happy with, and also helmets that you're happy with from a sort of comfort and visibility perspective too, because there's no point having the fastest AERO helmet if you can't see out of it properly or if it moves around on your head.
So you have this problem, I have this problem, George definitely has this problem.
Jess doesn't.
Jess doesn't, no one else here does. I have a beard. So many people are like, why would you have a beard if you time trial?
Does it make a difference?
So we've actually not tested it, but we do have a team rider who's one of the most AERO riders in the country, and he's got a proper beard on. I know that for Wiggins is our record.
That's concluded then.
Yeah, well, there you go, done. But we know for Wiggins is our record, he shaved it off, but they never tested it. They just assumed it was going to be worse. It might. If you say, fine, you've got a Greek Orthodox beard and it's down here, that's probably going to be a bit of an issue. But I think that it's going to be, it's going to be individual for the rider, like where their head is in relation to their torso. So keep the beard if you want the beard.
Maybe that's why the high hands position works, because it hides your beard.
We've done so that shoulders in run wasn't as good as before, was it? So what we're going to do now is work on that new skin suit that we've been trying to test. So we tested the pink one on Chris, but I think that this one's probably going to be better, I reckon.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes. Yeah, see how it goes.
It's so hot in here, can I take it off?
Yeah. So how funny was it that Chris's bike isn't actually any faster than George's?
I mean, not very funny for Chris. It's dirty for a start. If he cleaned it, it'd be even quicker.
It'd be actually quicker than Chris's bike.
Genuinely would. Look, he's got zip ties on it.
Take those off. How does George run a bike company and have that?
It's disgraceful, isn't it? He should sack himself.
Feeling rough, George?
Yeah, I'm at the end of the usefulness of the last batch of tablets, so I'm awaiting the next round. Bye-bye.
Fits you like a glove, Ken.
Hello. Hello, doggo.
I'm going to ask you one question. Bang for buck, what is the single most important thing people can do to get faster aerodynamically on their bike?
Jess?
I'd probably say clothing, because the rider is 70% of the overall drag. If you think about the rider-bike combination, it's about 30% bike, 70% rider. So how do you make a rider more aerodynamic? You change things like you've got a baggy jersey and shorts, going from that to something that's well-fitting, so it doesn't have to be expensive. You can get 50-60 quid skin suits, but pounds per watt, that would probably be one of the biggest things you could do to improve your aerodynamic drag.
Make sure your clothing fits. It is just such a big part of it, and as Jess says, the rider's going to be such a... People spend loads of time and effort trying to make sure their cables are hidden on the bikes and all this kind of thing, and they've got the best super bike possible, but the rider's, 3-4 times the drag of the bike, so make sure the rider's sorted first. And train yourself to hold a better position. That's an easy win. That's free. Work on your flexibility. Make sure that you've done some training so that, if you know that on a road bike that you're faster and more aero and can hold a position tucked in on the hoods, make sure you practice it. Do some stretching and make sure that that's not, when in a race situation or if you're training hard with mates or whatever, make sure that that's not weird. Okay, that you've done enough work in that position that it becomes second nature. and that's a free one to take away. Good bang for buck there.
That was absolute pleasure. Really, really.
Yeah, nice to meet you. Yes. Yeah, nice to meet you. There you go.
8 miles. At the roundabout, take the first exit onto High Street.
Right, we've reached the part in the journey where all the lights go weird and low.
But then they raise up again, like it's double step. There's a middle step, and then we're in the top step.
At least it's not like 3 AM like last time we came back. Goodbye for now, guys. Catch you soon.